Are you a freelance writer trying to create your first freelance writing website and aren't sure where to begin? I 100% get it because not too long ago I was there myself. But now that I've been freelance writing for a few years and made it my #1 income stream since leaving my 9 to 5, I'm confident that I can help you create an epic freelance writing website that will attract clients, build a portfolio, and allow you to grow your writing business. Keep watching so you can learn how I created my freelance writing website in just a few hours, the one essential plugin to make it so much easier, and how you can build your writing portfolio and writing website to attract your ideal client. Let's go. I'm really excited to take you through this because, again, having an epic freelance writing website will help you stand out against other writers, attract the right clients, and get way better paying gigs than if you're just submitting to job boards or cold pitching without a writing website. So if you're new to the channel, thanks again for being here. My name's Michael Leonard, creator of Inspire Your Success, a blog, podcast, and YouTube that is geared towards helping more people find a job that actually makes them happy. And so if you want more of this content about digital entrepreneurship and making money online by building online businesses, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So again, in this video though, I want to really dial in a freelance writing website because this is one of the things that really helped me elevate my writing business and helped me in the process of 10xing my income in a matter of 12 months while only working part-time. But the problem is most people think about building a website as this just huge task, and it takes a ton of work, ton of money, and a lot of times it can seem so daunting that a lot of people never even get started. But if you want to actually make consistent money, 2, 3, 5, 10,000 or more a month as a writer, you need to have a home base, whether that's a blog or a writing website. In this video, we're not going to talk specifically about blogging, but more about creating a writing website that is specific to your writing business. So let's dive in behind the scenes. I'll show you my writing website, some of the more popular ones I've seen out there, and some of the biggest mistakes that you can avoid. So that way, again, you're not repelling clients, but instead attracting clients. All right, guys, welcome back. And again, I want to share with you kind of in-depth looking at freelance writing websites, not only my own, but just some that I found online, give you kind of what you should be trying to achieve, some feedback on some of these, some goods, and some ways to improve. So again, let's just start out with mine. Again, michaelleonard.net is what I always recommend is to, again, have your name as the domain. For example, I have Inspire Your Success, which is my main blog and related to my podcast and YouTube. But for freelance writing, I have my own website. So I think this is a very, very big deal. If you can lock in your own name, first and last name, whether it's .com or .net, I think that is just going to help you out. And again, personal branding and owning as much as you can online with your social media presence and handles and website is a great way to kind of control all that for the future. So if you can, snag that. And then again, here is kind of what I'm looking for mine. The first thing is that how does it look? Now, again, this is a very simple website. I'm not saying I spent much money on it or anything, but it's simple. And that's the biggest thing. People, when they're creating freelance writing websites, try to make it overly complex and think you need to have hundreds and thousands of dollars of design and all this, but that's just not the case. So for this website, I believe I'm using either Bluehost or SiteGround for the hosting, and then a Genesis paid theme. I think it was like 50 or 75 bucks. And then really all of it is just designed with a plugin. I believe it's Elementor. And it's a free plugin, and it's really a page builder, and it'll help you kind of align everything and make it the way you want. So even if you're not techie, it's a great way to get started. So basically when you log on, first off, it's clear who I am. Michael Leonard, I'm a copywriter plus the creator of Inspire Your Success. I call it out. Again, you want to make it super, super simple. And then on there, I have a nice clean photo just of me. I'm dressed up at an event. I do a lot of personal development and entrepreneurship writing. So I wanted to have a photo here that really showed, that I go to events, I invest in myself. Again, you want to get people to know, like, and trust you from the moment they land on your writing website. So that's kind of the first thing. And then the second thing, I'm a copywriter who specializes in writing epic entrepreneurship and digital marketing content. It's bolded, it's in the center, it's called out. So make sure that you are very, very clear when someone lands on your page that instantly they know who you are and what you write about. So again, Michael Leonard, I'm specializing in this. This is vital because most people just have something like, I write great content, or, I'm really knowledgeable about finances or whatever. You need to specifically call out your ideal client. So when you start cold pitching or applying to job boards and including your writing website, that they land on this once you send it to them, and then they're instantly learning exactly who you are and what kind of services you can provide. So again, I call it out here, a little bit about myself. I'm passionate about creating content that will help you go from simply reading a post to taking massive action and changing their lives. I then link to my portfolio, a contact me. And again, very simple. I call it out. And then down below, this is huge. You'll see this on a lot of writing websites, is you always want to put where you've been featured. So for example, I've been featured in Goalcast, Fearless Soul, Lifehacker, Rockstar. You can see all those. This instantly adds credibility, because if you're a new client, they don't know me. I am brand new. I'm pitching them, whether it's through a job board or through a cold email. They have no idea who I am. So it's essential to, again, get them to want to work with you by establishing credibility. So by adding all these on here, it shows that, again, I've been featured in a lot of big publications. That will help. The next thing is testimonials. Let me back up real quick. So if you're brand new as a freelance writer and you don't have anywhere you've been featured at yet, find some sites where you can guest post or do free writing. Like even Thrive Global is a big site, but anyone's allowed to publish on there. Get something so that way, again, you can have a couple different things on here. I think it was Lifehack is free and you can contribute on there. They have specific guidelines, but again, you want to guest post on relevant articles and websites, so that way you can include this, because again, as I get featured in bigger publications, I'm always updating this. So if I get featured in Forbes or Yahoo or somewhere like that, I'll definitely update this image. So make sure that you are doing this. This is a very, very big but easy thing that you can do to your website. And then the next thing is testimonials. People need social proof, and this is the easiest way to do it, is just to simply notate your testimonials. As you begin to write for more clients, you obviously want to reach out to them, ask them for a short testimonial. That way you can include it on your site. So for example, I have Nick, who's the creator of Fearless Motivation. Site gets read by millions of people a month. Austin, who's the director of content at Knowledge for Men, another big website. Sam Schaub, creator of the Alchemy Collab. I mean, these are just clients that I've worked with, I've had great experiences with. So anytime I'm, working with someone for a couple months or have, a successful relationship, I always ask them for a testimonial, because that way you can put it on your writing website and can really help you. Again, for new clients, as soon as they land on your page, they're going to start to get to know you, like you, and be super comfortable with you. Plus, they're going to see all the raving reviews from your past clients. All right, so then just below the testimonials, just goes to my footer. So I just have a little bit more of my writing services there. All of the links to my social media, my email, my other website. So again, nothing crazy about that homepage. But then let's go check out the other tabs. So from there, I have About, Portfolio, Blog, Podcast, Courses, Work with Me. So I'll quickly go through these just to help you guys out. So the About page. Your freelance writing website should absolutely have an About page. Your About page is going to, again, give people more of a background about who you are, what type of work you've done, where you live, a little bit about yourself. Again, I notate I live in Scottsdale. I'm working on being a professional golfer. I've published courses. I've been featured in these places, just to get people to be a little bit more familiar. Because again, when you're going out and you're doing these cold pitches, people have no idea who you are. So it's up to your website to make them comfortable and have a lot more information about who they could potentially work with. So with your About page, if you have pets, I highly recommend having a picture there with your pet or your children or your spouse. again, just having things, for example, if you're at events, things like that, you don't need to have professional photos. These are definitely not. But again, just having something up there is super helpful. All right, so the next thing that you're going to want is your portfolio. So with your portfolio, you want to include all of the places you've been featured. You can have PDFs to documents that maybe aren't featured yet or you've already written as samples. But again, you want to have links that are relevant to your target client. So again, from here, I notate where I've been featured at. I have another testimonial. And then I basically have it linked to all the different articles. So, it's one thing to say you're featured in all these, but then it's another thing to actually link to all of them. So I have all my life hack, pick the brain, addicted to success. And then if you're a regular contributor, I recommend linking to your full profile as well. So for example, this freelance one on fearless motivation, I've had over 100 articles published on there. So that is helpful. Again, it shows that you've been in the business for a while. You have a lot of experience. So again, this is super helpful. It doesn't have to be hard. Again, just make sure you link to all the ones that are relevant. More photos of me. These happen to be a best-selling author and a $100 million plus entrepreneur. So again, they're relevant to my target client. I'm all about entrepreneurship and personal development. So it helps to have these on here, again, to add to credibility. And if you've written about different things, that's no problem. Make sure you have a header that just separates it. So this one is more of my personal finance and entrepreneurship. And again, just linking to all of it. And if you've been featured in any podcast interviews, this is also helpful. So I have a full-time podcast that I run, but then I also have been featured in others. So again, link to all those. If you've published any books, this is another good spot to call them out on your portfolio. So for mine, I published 3 different books. The golf one, I guess, just isn't featured on here, but I have 2 of them. And then again, I have review snippets. So if you have a book that's published and you have reviews already on it, make sure that you grab snippets or full reviews, depending on how long they are, because this can absolutely help you out. And again, just show more credibility to those future clients. All right, so the next thing you want is if you do have a blog, again, make sure you're always linking that between your writing website and your personal, because then again, people can click over. It just shows clients, that you're just more committed. You obviously have a lot of presence online. So make sure you have this. Again, I linked to some of the popular posts as well. Nothing crazy. Podcast, obviously not everyone's going to have a podcast, but if you have one, make sure you link to the podcast. But something you definitely want to have is a work with me page, because this is how people can learn that 1, you are accepting clients, and 2, what you are good at. So again, I talk exactly what I'm all about as far as content and lead magnets and ghostwriting. So I talk more about that. I have just another picture, services offered. So again, you guys, hopefully you're seeing the biggest thing is to just paint a picture for the client, who you are, what services you provide, and how you can do it. Now, one thing people will say is, well, Mike, do I put my cost and prices on there? Absolutely not. Do not put your cost on here, because you have no wiggle room. And for me, some clients, I just do more or less depending on the niche that I'm writing in. So again, this is a big thing that I recommend not doing. But if you do want to have more of like a combination where you can have like an intro, basic, and a premium package, you can kind of have that of what services are included. I think that's a great idea. But do you need to provide pricing? Absolutely not. Because again, it'll be changing. You might not always update it on here. You might do different with different clients or work on retainers and all kinds of things. So again, make sure that you have maybe something about the services offered, but you don't necessarily need to have exact pricing. So another thing that's really important is if you write about more than one thing, that's totally fine. For example, I write a lot of personal finance, I used to write a lot about personal finance. Now it's more about marketing and entrepreneurship, but I also am an avid golfer and I'm a golf writer. So if you have several things, make sure you call it out. So for example, I have a golf writing page here, and then on here, I call out different books that I've written and different articles, samples, pictures of me golfing. Like, it's crazy that I actually get paid to write about golf, but that's the thing, guys. You just never really know. So while I don't think you should write about 15 different things, if you have 1 or 2 things, that's totally fine, and make sure your website reflects that. All right, before we wrap up, just a couple other little things. And first off, make sure your social media is linked on here. If you have Pinterest, Medium, LinkedIn, Instagram, your email address, Facebook, whatever, make sure that your social media linked on there because people will click through it. So again, make sure you have that. And then the biggest thing that I want you guys to see here is that it's just simple. It's not overly complex, and it doesn't have to be. People aren't hiring you to design a website. They're hiring you to be an expert writer on specific subjects. So it's up to you to make sure they know, like, and trust you. So think about what the client will see when they land on your page. If you have any questions about it, you can always throw a link down in the comment box, and I'm happy to give you some feedback. So again, make sure you're doing this. I talk a lot more about this in my course, Freelance to 5K. So again, if you're interested in that, make sure you take a look at the links down below because I want your website to help you attract the perfect clients. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful and you understand what it takes to make a freelance writing website that's really going to get you leads, attract clients, and help you get paid. Because that is the whole thing with freelance writing. So many people spend time on building a website and building these samples, but they're not actually getting clients and getting paid. And if you're not getting clients and you're not making progress, it's easy to quit. But again, I do not want you to quit. I want you to keep going, and I want you to speed up success by using the tips from these videos and the resources down below to get clients to start getting raises and make consistent income online as a writer. So again, make sure that your writing website has all the things we talked about in this one, so that way you have a professional home base online. And in another video, we're going to talk all about social media for freelance writers, so that way you can also attract way more clients. And again, if you like this kind of content, you want more about writing, blogging, and building online businesses, make sure to hit the subscribe, turn the notifications on, and if you have any questions, hit up the comment box because again, I want to help you speed up success. It took me longer than it needed to. Now that I've actually been at it a few years though, I know I can help you speed up success. So again, hopefully this was helpful, and I appreciate you watching, and have an epic day.